Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast where when it's time for an answer, we yell, oh shit, and throw up a middle finger. It's Lost in the Midcard. Here we are. We're here to talk about FyterFest, and the beauty of it all is next week we get a preview Fight for the Fallen, because already Fight for the Fallen is already here. So we got a lot of AEW to talk about. We got Being the Elite. We've got our first Road to Fight for the Fallen that came out last week as well, so we got a lot of AEW to cover. Big news that came out from the WWE after we recorded last week. We'll cover that in the headlines, discuss on what that means for the future of the WWE, and, of course, supposedly this week's Raw and SmackDown may have slight implications of those changes. So we got that to talk about, lots to talk about, and, of course, we got headlines as we always do. An amazing NXT. We got a main event that we want to talk about as well. For NXT. So let's get right to it, and thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes, Spotify, and any of your favorite podcasting apps. Just go and search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way, typically every Wednesday. But if you subscribe, you know every time that new episode does come your way in case we record on some different days. You can also subscribe on the YouTube. The links to everything there. You can go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/LostInTheMidcard. You can also go to our Twitter at LITMC Podcast, where we share a lot of the great tweets from the wrestling world. And after the pay-per-views, we post a poll. So we'll, thanks to everybody that voted after FyterFest, we will divulge the results of that poll here once we get done covering that at the top of the show. I am your host, Jeremy Bennett. You can find me on the Twitter at JBHuskers. As always, my co-host, he is on the Twitter at Raw of Showtime. It is Mr. Matt Black. Matt, how you doing?
I'm alive.
Alive and well. And AEW, just in a nutshell, pretty damn good on Saturday, wasn't it?
Thought it was a solid show. I didn't think it was as good as Double or Nothing, but it was a solid show.
Probably wasn't supposed to be better than Double or Nothing, so hey. You know.
I just think when more eyeballs are on it, you should have put your best foot forward, and I don't think it was as good as Double or Nothing was.
Yeah, we're gonna break into that right away, but first we got to introduce our other co-host. He is on the Twitter at NoOneLikeD, Mr. Darryl Bullock. Darryl, what's up?
I'm chilling, man. I'm just happy that wrestling is actually wrestling now.
Yeah. We got. Well, I mean, Raw has been good for a month now. SmackDown not, but tonight was decent. You guys said it did pretty good, you'd say, right, guys?
It was cool. Yeah. I mean, it was cool for what it was. I mean,
it didn't suck a hot
I wasn't disappointed. Yeah. Like, I'm more mad when wrestling is disappointing.
Yeah, I thought it was good. Raw has actually been good for almost 4 weeks now, I think, counting. But SmackDown was definitely solid tonight. Extreme Rules, I think, is going to shape up to be pretty damn nice. So we're already setting up the card for that. Probably a predictable card, but hell, shit, you never know with the changes that came through. We'll talk about that at the top of headlines, but first we're going to talk AEW. FyterFest, the second All Elite Wrestling show that happened this past Saturday. Free show on the BR Live report. You could also, for those overseas and whatnot, got it on Fight for, I believe, $10 or something like that, or, of course, with the VPN. You could get it other ways. But damn good show, held in conjunction with the CEO Fighting Game Tournament. The pre-show, I mean, Jesus, we said it in the preview last week, guys. But I mean, just how great, how much we were looking forward to this buy-in match between the Best Friends, SoCal Uncensored, and Private Party. But holy shit, did those guys deliver on that opening match, didn't they?
Shouldn't have been the opening match.
Nah, not at all.
This should have been the final thing you saw on the buy-in before the show went live.
Yeah, they probably should
because they started the buy-in with a great hit and then it went to shit.
Yeah, they should have opened it. Yeah, they should have opened with like the hardcore match or something funny, but I don't know.
So they could have just canceled the hardcore match, as far as I'm concerned.
I think that was just pure entertainment.
And I thought it was actually a funny
entertainment for who?
I thought it was funny.
A 6-year-old, my 6-year-old.
Did he love it?
He laughed and then he walked away and went to go get on his tablet.
There's your answer.
Hey, I popped.
If it didn't hold the 6-year-old's attention, then it probably wasn't that great.
What does?
Dude, I don't even want to hear that shit. When I was 6 years old,
well,
WWF had me glued to the fucking television.
Yeah, but
I would walk away from that shit for nothing.
6-year-olds in 2019, it takes a freaking super glue their ass to a seat to get them glued to the television.
I mean, he came in there to watch it, and he was like, "Oh, okay, Daddy, this is cool." And then next thing I know, like he walked away.
I did pop for the joystick buttons instead of the thumbtacks. I thought that was kind of funny.
It was gimmicky. I mean,
what else is it supposed to be? It was what
I mean, for the guy that came out dressed like the one white guy that can shoot all jumpers on the basketball court, that's what I expected.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. I was entertained with it. Allie and Leva Bates, I mean, it was okay. It was decent. I mean, they're both good wrestlers, but the librarian gimmick's starting to get over like a fart in church, right? I do like how she uses it, like when she's got Allie in the hole, like an arrest hold, and shushes her. That stuff's kind of, I like that. That's kind of funny, but the
characters still need more time to flesh it out.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
like
so.
I said on Twitter, I love the librarian gimmick. I think it's funny. I think what Peter and Leva are doing right now together is kind of cool. I like how Peter was kind of the heel manager that kind of tried to screw Allie in the match, but he ended up screwing Leva instead. So I think in time it's going to be people. So a lot of people hate it. Well, make them heels. So there you go. They already seem to be heels anyways. So Allie defeats Leva Bates ahead of her match with Brandy Rhodes at Fight for the Fallen. That'll be that'll be a pretty interesting match considering the history those two have. And of course, Michael Nakazawa defeated Bailey to even up their series at 1-1. But of course, the amazing match that kicked off things, the triple threat, which had implications towards All Out in the tag team title picture. Best Friends, SoCal Uncensored, and Private Party. And my prediction came through. Best Friends get the W, so they're probably cemented into that tag team championship match. And we'll talk about being the Elite a little later on. But how great was it that the Bucks surprised Private Party with a contract right after the match?
Happy.
That was awesome, wasn't it?
Happy. Yes.
The biggest surprise is that they weren't already on their full-time deals to begin with.
I thought they were.
And so did I, which is why the whole thing didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. All right, we at the Ocean Beach Center in Daytona Beach, Florida. 5,000 people roughly in attendance. The announced team of Jim Ross, Excalibur, and Golden Boy. And I thought Golden Boy worked well with those two, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
For not being a wrestling commentator, I mean, he's a professional commentator. He's up from
he's a lifetime wrestling fan too.
Exactly. I thought he.
I mean, honestly, I would be seeing what he wanted to do this full time.
Exactly.
I'd be replacing Marvez. With Golden Boy.
I put on Twitter many times at Golden Boy #FyterFest. I'd like to see this guy in the booth a lot more with Excalibur and JR. Because Golden Boy did a hell of a job. I first saw him with the esports. I think probably first time I think I'd ever seen him was Up, Down, Down. I think maybe this is the first time I might have seen him. And then of course he's on the Titan games as well. We kick off things with Christopher Daniels from SCU against SEMA. Not a bad choice for opener, huh, guys?
Got to start the show off with a bang.
I did not realize CMA's facing Kenny Omega in 2 weeks, so then that kind of makes sense that he went over on CD here. But Jesus Christ, CD's 49, and Can he just do this 10 more years, guys, please? Wouldn't that be great?
I'm just glad he's in the position where he's in right now, where he's head of talent relations as well as, still putting on great matches. I mean, you get the best of both worlds because he's going to pretty much bring it on both sides of his job. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, and I love the story they told with Sema selling the back injury. It only went about 10 minutes, but these guys know each other so well. They got a lot out there in the 10 minutes they had together, and Sema getting over, as of course he will face Kenny Omega, which again, that's going to be a hell of a match that we get to see for free as well. Sheesh, you believe it, guys? It's like a week and a half already because time is just flying by.
Yeah, it is.
Next up was the triple threat match with Nyla Rose, Yuka Sakazaki, and Riho. And this match went as expected. Nyla Rose obviously destroying the two ladies for most of it. That was something to expect. I picked Riho just kind of how I thought she came out the star, but I kind of believed Matt when he picked Nyla Rose. I don't know did you pick Nyla Rose too, D?
I changed.
Did you change?
Remember, I switched up.
Did you took Riho too?
No. I picked Riho first, but then I picked Nyla Rose because it would only make sense. She's one of their biggest women's talent to, actually win and put herself in the title picture.
Well, if they're, I just learned that Riho has just finished her Japanese commitment. She's in the United States full time now. She's AEW full time. So some of they're looking at establishing a lot of some of those Joshi women. This was the way to do it, and I kind of felt like they had showcased her in that 6-woman tag. So that's why I kind of thought maybe she would kind of surprise people and get the win here. And sure enough, she did. I think Nyla Rose will have enough. She'll have more than enough time, especially on television, to bulldoze through that women's division and eventually get to the top. So I'm not too worried about her at all, to be honest. But I think the right call was made here to put over one of the Joshi women, just to kind of continue to introduce these women to the fans of AEW. What do you guys think?
That makes sense. I mean, I'm just happy that we have a women's division where everybody's getting showcased.
Yeah. Unlike now, where we basically see Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross everywhere. But
pretty much.
I'm not complaining about Nikki Cross, so hey. Kip Sabian joins the commentators for the Fatal 4-Way match between MJF, Jungle Boy, and Hangman Adam Page and Jimmy Havoc. And a buddy of mine, John Canton, that writes for TGR Wrestling, he was not familiar with Jungle Boy and said he had not seen much of Jungle Boy, and he was thoroughly impressed with his in-ring work. So it's good to see someone that's written wrestling for a long time and not familiar with someone like a Jungle Boy who's a smaller guy really impress someone in the ring with some bigger guys like Hangman Page obviously is like the biggest star you got in AEW. So it was pretty cool to see Jungle Boy shine in this 4-way match. What did you guys see out of these four?
MJF's promo. Oh my God!
Your mama swallows.
Like literally, I spit out my damn whiskey. Like I was crying and laughing when he said pretty much he used to play video games and he stopped playing when he lost his virginity. I was on the floor crying. Or when he said pretty much when he made the mention of my 600-pound life, I was done.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. MJF is it hard? It's hard to believe that dude's 23.
He's having fun, man. Like he's living the dream. I wish at 23 years old I was living the dream like that.
And I love that basically Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus are attached at the hip. I think it's perfect. I think it works for the wrestling fans because they do some great tag team moves and stuff. But I mean the kids are going to eat those two up.
You sure they're not attached to the shoulder and ass?
Oh, you got me there.
There it is.
You got me there.
I'm just saying.
That's a good point. But what I liked the best about this match was the fact that at the end of it, MJF and Paige stood tall, staring each other down still, so it continues that. And I don't know, do you think we get that at Fight for the Fallen?
Absolutely. No, actually, no. Paige
is facing Sabian.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
right.
Yeah, they already set the card for that.
Maybe first week of TV, main event. Maybe for the title.
As I've already stated, I believe that MJF and Adam Page can be their main event feud going forward on television. It's really not something I would particularly rush into.
Yeah. No surprise, Page hitting the dead eye on Jimmy Havoc. No surprise with Page getting the win there, considering he's going to be facing Jericho at All Out. Good match there with those four. Love the stare down afterwards. Next match. Oh boy. Darby Allin, Cody Rhodes. I told you this one might steal the show. And
I told you they're going to beat the shit out of each other.
Darby bringing a body bag with him. And Allen's body bag says 1-1 because that's what Cody's record will be when he loses. And as Allen's making his way to the ring, Excalibur tells the story of Darby Allin that we saw in Road to Fight for the Fallen. Cody comes out with Brandy. And, man, I tell you what. You know, this was a prototypical bigger guy getting the advantage on the littler guy, veteran getting the advantage on the youngster. But once things turned around and once that clock started ticking, man, it got intense, didn't it?
Sure did.
You know, we don't get 20-minute, we don't get time limit draws much anymore. And this proved right here they can still work in 2019, right?
I was happy. That just brought me back to my NWA. Watch the NWA, Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat, and yeah, I'm happy. Cody's tapping into his father right now.
Yep, exactly. Oh, I was edge of my fucking seat. I mean, how about that goddamn backdrop onto the apron by Allen? Holy!
You talking about the coffin drop? Yeah.
Ooh! Damn, son, you're gonna take some years off your career doing that more often.
Shit, I would do some shit like that at 20-something years old. Can't do that at 36.
But I thought it would steal the show, and to this point, it did. It was just completely amazing. I'm sitting here thinking, oh, maybe overtime. But all of a sudden, Sean Spears comes out and just clocks Cody Rhodes with a steel chair unprotected to the head, which makes us all cringe. And what even made us more cringe was the fact that Cody was busted open the hard way. And later on we learned that the chair was supposed to be a gimmick chair and no blood was supposed to be shed. I've heard stories that maybe Sean, the chair was switched. I don't know. Or they just went wrong. I don't know what's the truth, guys. But
I haven't heard anything about it at all. Like, I just heard it was supposed to be gimmicked, and that was that. I don't know any more behind that. I just honestly think it shouldn't have been a headshot anyway.
You could do so many things. Like, you could do a fake pipe, like a fake pipe to the head or something, you know? Something that's not going to actually bust the man. Something that's not going to cause... it was gross. Like, you can see skin coming up and...
yeah, I'm not a big fan of getting hit in the head. Like, that's not cool.
No,
like, I get where it was going, but...
We saw Rock Mankind a lot of times.
Yeah, I'm just not up for that anymore.
You could have hit him in the gut and smashed him in the back. There was no reason to hit him alongside the head.
Yeah,
at all. It's not needed in 2019.
No.
And I don't think time limit draws on something that can be considered a pay-per-view is needed in 2019 either.
Well, hey, it was a free show though.
Well,
so.
no, I get it because
Darby Allin's debut should have come with a win. And if you didn't want him to beat Cody, you shouldn't have fought Cody. It should have been against somebody else.
Well, it sounds like that was Cody's booking right there because if you think about it, it would hurt Cody to lose, and his
don't book it.
I'm with you. I'm totally with you on that. But
that's my whole issue with professional wrestling nowadays is, well, we can't have this one guy lose this match. Okay, then don't book it.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. This isn't a real sport. Like, if you don't want someone to lose, but the other guy needs to get over, here's an idea: have them fucking face someone else.
You're right.
You can build up to Cody and Darby later on. You can fight on TV. I don't care about time limit draws on a television, on a weekly television product. You want to run a time limit draw? Cool. That I don't have an issue with. But when you're doing it on a quote unquote like pay-per-view event, I got an issue with that. And Darby Allin's AEW debut after the hype that they put behind him on the road to FyterFest, he deserved more than he got.
You're absolutely correct. He had a great showing, though, in my opinion.
I still think the time limit.
He had a great showing to get the shit beat out of him.
Yeah.
He definitely had that.
Hey, I still think a time limit draw against a multi-time world champion in your debut match at AEW is not bad either. So.
Well, the only thing worse would have been him getting pinned.
Yeah.
Yeah, clean.
Yeah, which was 1 second away from happening anyway. So, I mean, they basically made it look like Cody beat him anyway.
Yeah.
Honestly, I rather would have had it Darby hit his finish on Cody and the time limit expire when he had Cody down for the 2 count.
Yeah,
because at least that way you get the opinion that Allen got the better of Cody and he would have won with 1 more second on the clock.
Yeah,
instead we got Cody got the better of Darby and would have won with 1 more second on the clock, and I have a problem with that.
But at the same time, you can still go around to booking with that, and Allen can still say you can't beat me, to start up yet another match. So
I would have just let him be. I would just let him beat Cody on like a schoolboy or something.
Yeah, just anything, honestly.
Outside of all the chair shit, let's pretend that it was. Let's pretend that chair was gimmicked and there was no blood. Pretty cool good way to start a good Cody Shawn Spears feud. Do you agree?
Yeah, that's gonna be a match all out.
Yeah, exactly what I was gonna say. I'm assuming that's your all out match.
I loved what Spears put on Twitter. It's from I think it's from one of the Road 2s. It might have been Road to Double or Nothing, and it's 1 second clip replaying.
He's a hand. He's a good hand.
He's a good hand.
Yeah, that was on the Road to Fighter. That was on the same episode that the Darby promo was on.
Yeah, I those little things, man, that start something that you gotta. I like it. Damn, the Elite and Lucha Brothers with Laredo Kid. That was just
my God.
The fact that
this is my favorite thing on the show.
Mine too.
Yeah, I think this is my match of the night. The fact that Matt and Nick came out as Ken and Ryu and Kenny Omega came out as Akuma. So good.
I love Akuma. Like that.
And it's a bummer we're never gonna get to see what the full wrestling gear for.
Yeah, no kidding, because his gear didn't show up. And it's so funny, like his back tattoo for Akuma was like a rubber ink stamp. Every time he hit the mat, you could see the tattoo on the mat.
You saw it on a damn on an entrance ramp too.
Yeah, you could. You can't really recap a 6-man tag match with the Young Bucks because it's just basically impossible. But it was fucking great. We'll just say that. Is this Young Bucks and Lucha Brothers feud ever going to end?
I think it's end. I think it just did.
No, they have another match for the titles in Mexico. So if you watch Being the Elite, not this past week, but the last week, Matt Jackson was sitting at the airport watching the match to see if he could do anything different. I think it's going to be one more match.
I have not heard that anywhere that there was another match coming.
Considering Omega pinned Laredo Kid, I don't know if that's the end of it or not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
all six men got in the ring together, showed respect at the end of the match.
Yeah.
To me, that's the end of the feud. You move the Lucha Brothers onto somebody else. You move the Young Bucks onto somebody else. There's plenty of tag teams for these guys to work with. They don't need to continue to be stuck on with each other.
I agree. It's been
give me the Bucks and Private Party.
Woo!
That's happening at House of Glory in August.
I know.
That's up in your neighborhood, ain't it?
Up in NYC.
I hate New York. I ain't going.
How far of a trip is that?
About 4 or 5 hours.
No, it's not that bad. We could get there in 2 hours if we wanted to go.
Dude, I make it to Philly in 2 hours.
But we can get from here to Jersey in like 90 minutes.
Yeah, South Jersey.
Well,
South Jersey is Philly.
It's still fucking Jersey.
It's the Bucks' last independent show, so shit. I'm surprised that's not already sold out. Most tickets aren't on sale yet.
That venue is small, so yeah, I'm not surprised.
It's probably already sold out.
Yeah, or they may not be on sale yet.
I'm pretty sure they probably are.
Omega with the one-winged angel on Laredo Kid to get the win after 20 minutes and 50 seconds. Hell of a tag match, probably the match of the night. Oh, but the fight of the night. The fight of the night was definitely Jon Moxley and Joey Janela. They beat the dog fucking shit out of each other. I think my favorite point of the match was when the crowd started chanting, "You sick fuck," and Jon Moxley just took a bow. I think that was my favorite part of the match.
Yeah.
I don't. As Matt, you had mentioned it was a little tamer than you thought because we know both of these guys and how fucking crazy they are. But, atomic drop after you took the dude's boots and socks off onto thumbtacks. Ow. Ow. What else did you guys like from this all-out war that went about 20 minutes to end the show? Well, it didn't quite end the show. We'll talk about that in a minute. But what did you guys think of this fight between Janela and Moxley?
Psychologically, for me, I've watched Jon Moxley and CZW with the death matches. And then for him to bring it, to dumb it down in WWE.
Yeah.
And then, be sheltered by the Shield and... even he could, because it's PG TV, like, you couldn't do much. But for him to come back to what he was and look like he never lost a step. Granted, he wasn't full Jon Moxley, because it could have been some other sick shit he could have done. I was happy because he was being him. And I'm a firm believer in you do what you love, and if you ever do what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And I think he had fun.
Oh,
he enjoyed himself.
You saw the picture of those two after the match sitting there having a drink. They both
that'd be me.
They both had fun.
I can't tell you how many football games I done played and sat there and had at least 3 beers in my hand at one time.
I love that picture of Moxley and Janela just sitting there having a drink. Well, Janela's flipping off Moxley, but it's still funny. Matt, what was your favorite part of the non-sanctioned match?
I can't really say I had a favorite part.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest with you, like I said, I was expecting a lot more craziness from this match than what we got. Like, I'm not saying it was bad. I'm sure for the average WWE fan, this is something that probably, made them lose their shit.
Yeah.
But for someone who's seen what Janela and Moxley have done on the independents, I really thought it was tame. Probably the best spot was the final spot, the paradigm shift into the bed of thumbtacks.
Then he spit him out. That was so badass.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was badass when Moxley spit out the tacks after he landed the move. Okay, so it was tamer than you thought it was, but is that really a bad thing considering?
I'm not saying it was a bad thing. I'm just telling you what I expected. If they would not have unsanctioned the match the week going into it, this would probably have been about what I expected.
Oh, okay.
When they unsanctioned the match, that's when I expected it to go to another level that it did not reach. But that's just me.
But you're not a fan of those levels that they do sometimes on CZW, are you?
No, I'm not saying that I am, but I'm saying what I expected. There's a big difference.
Yeah. I love the receipt from Kenny Omega to end the show, guys.
Yes, indeed.
It was a good receipt. That was a stiff guitar shot too.
Guitars aren't soft.
That was not
that
a
Jeff Jarrett shit.
That was not a gimmicked Elias guitar right there. I tell you what, that was a bona fide electric guitar right across Moxley's back. And something I didn't notice live on the show, but caught during Being the Elite, cameraman taking a dip in the pool. But hey, he saved the camera.
That's a lot of money.
All right, we asked the fans, how would you rate FyterFest after Mox and Janela beat the dog shit out of each other? And let me hit a refresh because I don't think that's the most updated poll results. Maybe it is. Well, we do. I thought I saw something else. A lot of you loved it. 45% of you voted an A. 35% of you voted a B. So 80% of you went A or B on it. 19% of you went a D. And less than 1% of you went D or F, I think. I don't know where that other percent went. So some part of a percent just went, off in the air through a bed of barbed wire. So
19%ers are idiots.
Yeah, I give it a solid B+. There was nothing I hated. I was entertained by it all. There was nothing I hated, especially on the main card. I even liked. I thought Ali and Leva was decent. I thought I was entertained by Jabali and Nakazawa. Obviously, the triple threat tag team was phenomenal, but and then everything nothing on the main card really made me go, this sucks. I was thoroughly enjoyed by the entire show. So, what do you guys think overall with AEW's second showing here?
I gave it A-.
I would give it a B to a B+. I really and truly believe that the hardcore match and Ali and Leva Bates kept this thing from being an A. It wasn't a good. That kind of stuff is what I expect on your weekly television product. When this was AEW's first ever chance to show to a massive audience for free what they were all about. And I don't feel that they put the best foot forward that they could have put. They did with Double or Nothing, but that was $50. When you're free 99, I think you need to be putting a better foot forward than you put forward at Double or Nothing, and I don't feel they did that. Hopefully, a Fight for the Fallen does it. So, but we'll see.
Let me ask you this, because it was free, and probably a good majority of America has cable, and TNT is on cable. Do you think that this was a preview, along with Fight for the Fallen, of what the weekly TV show would be like outside of the unsanctioned match? Do you think they were just giving us a taste of what weekly TV is about?
I mean, it's possible. I don't know. I think we'll have a better idea after we see Fight for the Fallen next weekend.
Gotcha.
I look at the card. I look at the card for FyterFest. I even look at the card that we have so far for Fight for the Fallen, and it's just the scale is so much smaller than Double or Nothing or All Out. So I don't expect them to put their best foot forward because the scale and the matchups are just not there to do that.
Right.
I mean, they put it on. They gave us a hell of a damn show for free, though. So, there's no way I could even expect them to match or exceed Double or Nothing or even what they're going to do with All Out, just because less matches, different matches. I mean, we're getting you got Hangman Page in a 4-way with a newcomer in Jungle Boy, a veteran with Jimmy Havoc, and your future top heel in MJF. And it's kind of and then now you're putting him in with Kip Sabian kind of randomly. It's these are just not, they're not being built to be those type of.
I mean, but think about it. It's kind of similar to what you would see on TV.
Yeah.
So it's just like something you would see Kofi Kingston against, not to compare Mustafa Ali to Kip Sabian, but Kofi Kingston against Mustafa Ali.
Well, maybe it's a test. Maybe they're doing some test runs here because I mean
that's what I'm saying.
The next show is only 2 weeks or is a week and a half away already. So
right, so they can gauge, what the feedback is as well as the the viewership.
Yeah, because they're going to have to run on a lot more of a real time adjustment once the TV hits every week and there's no stopping.
Absolutely.
So far, the card for Fight for the Fallen is as follows: Brandy Rhodes and Ali, Kenny Omega and Cena, Cody and Dusty and Rhodes against the Bucks, and Adam Page against Kip Sabian. So what we got so far. Jericho is scheduled to be there, so I don't know if Jericho's going to have a match, but maybe he put his ego aside and we'll wrestle a free show. That was still a funny ass tweet that he pulled out of FyterFest because it was a free show.
Goddamn Judas.
Road to Fight for the Fallen episode 1 aired late last week, middle of last week. They start off with Nick Sobek, the VP of Business Operations, talking about first some of the tragedies that have happened in Jacksonville and why Fight for the Fallen is taking place and why all the proceeds of the show are going to those affected by those tragedies. So good stuff kind of there to kind of show the community aspect of the main reason why this show is taking place. Michael Quarry getting in the ring, showing some moves with Brandy Rhodes as she prepares with Ali. What was his name? What's his wrestling name? Is it, you said QT? QT Marshall, is that right?
Yeah, QT Marshall.
Yeah. And Hangman Page had an answer for MJF after we had fake Hangman show up. That was, of course, ahead of FyterFest that came out.
I like horses.
I like horses. And leading up to the brothers battling, how cool was it to hear from Tony Schiavone and Jake the Snake Roberts as we lead to the Rhodes against the Bucks?
I think that was perfect. You got the old heads, the veterans speaking on the young talent, and I was happy that they brought Jake the Snake Roberts in. I'm just happy they brought somebody who's been in wrestling for years and
up and down that
cool.
road.
Yeah, like he knows what to expect, and he can give his honest opinion. And
he's pulling hard for Dustin to get that win with Cody.
Absolutely
for the veterans. That was just so cool to see those two guys just talk about it. And Tony Schiavone put it best. It's like just put the brother aspect aside. These are 4 top talents in pro wrestling today. And even if they weren't brothers, this would be a dream match. But now you're adding the aspect of it as brothers versus brothers, and it just makes it even more intriguing. Being the Elite this week was backstage at FyterFest. We start off with again another parody of the Fire Festival as Kenny Omega is trying to calm down the natives that are restless because half the luggage is not there, and it's first come first serve for all the tents, and well, chaos ensues if you're familiar with that Fire Festival. Some more fun was being poked at that. So and Bucks are on the road again, and I guess we could say Rick Knox is in full gear, right? Ref here.
Takes his job too serious.
He said that he was hired to be the referee and he's going to do it 24/7. So my favorite part was when Matt was littering in the airport and Rick Knox was counting him out to disqualify him. Good stuff there. So then we then go to some little behind the scenes before the FyterFest. They're kind of chilling in the ocean there. Then we go back to the arena as, of course, it is insane. Everybody getting their luggage taken off. And referee Rick Knox is trying to look for a spot to crash. He opens up the tent that's on the stage, but the best friends are camping there.
Why was that Chucky T face down?
Was he planking?
Yes, I don't know what the fuck. I was like, what the hell's going on?
The only thing I could figure out is that he was planking. You remember that thing that was?
Yeah, like the planking challenge.
Yeah. I thought they were trying to play out the fact he was dead.
That may be. Get the fuck out of here!
He had a dead body. Like he had a dead body in his tent.
Yeah. Oh, is it Rick? I keep thinking I'm fucking up the name. Is it Rick Knox?
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
It's Rick Knox. It's in my report, you son of a bitch.
I got the report up. It's right here. Fansided.com/2019/07/02/elite-recap.
Plug.
There's a plug. I almost read the entire.
You should have said fansided.com/WWE. It's so much easier.
Or type in fansided space being the elite and you'll find Matt Black's articles.
Fansided.com/buttplug and.
Yeah. Whoa. That'll get you somewhere.
That's a little disturbing, my friend.
It'll get you somewhere you don't want to go.
Ah, that's true.
I think CD's still selling that the Dick Toss from It's been a while, boys, but we got SCU back in the house together.
SCU!
And, of course, I mean, Atlanta's the worst airport in the world, and they're finally in Daytona Beach, which is... What is can somebody help me and tell me what is Daytona Beach?
What do you mean?
What kind of town is it?
It's the worst town they've ever been in.
Yeah.
I have to agree with them though. Hartsfield-Jackson Airport in Atlanta is horrible. Like that's just
the Atlanta airport's one of the worst I've ever been to.
That's just horrible.
Yeah, that's like Delay City. No matter where you go.
Like it's the worst airports I've been in is there and Newark. Like it's the worst.
Shithole covered in sand. That's what Daytona Beach is. Can't wait to get back to Southern California. SCU! Oh, and then we, of course, awkward scene in the bathroom as Nick is all bloody. And so then Matt has to get all bloody so they can reenact the road scene. I need my older brother. And Brandon Cutler, I should have went to NXT.
Could not believe he said that.
That was perfect.
Luchasaurus getting a workout as he's carrying Jungle Boy, who's carrying two bags of two bags of luggage there as they try to find a spot to crash. But well, they run into SCU's dressing room. Nope, it's only for Southern Cal people only. And well, I got my master's degree in Southern California. Nope, doesn't count. Other than they run into Private Party, and I think they're trying to hoard the toilet paper, and they start brawling.
It's funny how Jungle Boy was still on top of his shoulders while he was brawling.
That was you could tell Luchasaurus was kind of getting gas there, man. He was getting a workout in carrying him around with those two bags. We got a nice little behind-the-scenes little video editing for Kenny Omega's entrance. Apparently, some things were not right off the bat. So then Kenny getting on the horn with the director and getting some things fixed. And, in the end, everything turned out all right for that entrance, which was badass.
They had an entrance with an extra.
Something I forgot to mention in that match, the Hadouken was pretty fucking cool. That was a good spot, wasn't it?
Dude, I turned into like a fanboy like real quick. I love Street Fighter.
I mean, just for the fact that where we're at, that was a great fucking
That
thing.
was perfect.
Yeah, for what they did, that was great. The other thing that cracked me up was the fact that the budget ran out, so they had to cut half the models, and then one of the mannequins lost their head.
Well, the mannequin lost its head because didn't Peter Avalon rip it off?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, there's just so many little things that were hilarious about that.
You know what? It was that just showed the creativity.
Yeah.
Of those guys. Their imagination is wild.
That was good. They showed they cut to Private Party after their 6-man or triple threat tag match, getting the contracts as we mentioned. Let's take another shot at WWE. Brandon Cutler is showing Brandy Rhodes how to watch the television on camera.
Yes.
Oh, I did not. Wow, I can see the TV so much better.
All you see is boobs.
Well, that too, because oh my god, the shots they take at the WWE are just hilarious, and that one, I popped at that one a little too hard, I think. She goes, "Thanks, KD." Oh, we know who that's at. A guy we take a shot out on a weekly basis, right, Matt?
Yep.
Dune.
They show the librarians as Peter tries to make up for his mistake costing Leva her match, and obviously we know Peter's fallen for Leva. We all know that. MJF is trying to pay off one of the referees for the Fatal 4-Way, but oops, there's a twin brother that's actually reffing that match. Dumbass. MJF. I did not even realize those refs were twins. Is the other one actually a ref, or he's just hanging out?
He's just hanging
out.
Gonna see some cool stuff from behind the scenes at FyterFest. Cody making his entrance to the ring with Brandy. Then we cut to Kenny Omega, his attack on Jon Moxley. And that's where we see a slow-mo replay of the guy falling in the pool, but still keeping the camera upright. So
that was hilarious.
And then we see two of the EVPs along with Rick Knox hard at work counting T-shirts at 1 a.m. So they're still doing the hard work too, guys. They're not kicking back in the fancy office, pal.
Yep, pretty much.
Well, Rick Knox helping the boys out too. That's nice of him. And then about 45 minutes later, loading up that van is, hey, we're heading for Jacksonville.
Word, son.
So that was being the Elite this week. Well, bombshell dropped on Thursday.
Get up.
Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff named executive directors of Raw and SmackDown.
I'm desperate, pal.
The official press release from the WWE came out as WWE Today announced that Paul Heyman as executive director of Monday Night Raw and Eric Bischoff as executive director of SmackDown Live, newly created positions reporting directly to the WWE chairman and CEO Vince McMahon. In their executive roles, Heyman and Bischoff will oversee the creative development of the WWE's flagship programming and ensure integration across all platforms and lines of business. The creation of these roles further establishes WWE's ability to continuously reinvent its global brand while providing two distinct creative processes for its flagship show. My initial reaction was fuck yeah, as long as they get through to Vince, and And then when I saw Heyman do an interview about how the general manager things played out, I knew immediately this is all a behind-the-scenes thing. And then we saw Heyman on Raw completely as the advocate, not even a single bit as the executive director on camera. So, it seems like everything here between Bischoff and Heyman is going to be behind the scenes, which I like a lot as well.
Right.
So I have a lot of optimism. I have more optimism now than I've had in a while, at least. What do you guys think of this announcement?
I think it's good just for wrestling, period. I mean, like AEW was trying to say, like John Moxley, was trying to say, hopefully certain things changes the way WWE operates so they can provide better entertainment for the fans. And that's all we asked for. And I think it's happening.
Matt, do you think this is the XFL move that Vince puts into place when he has to put his eggs in other baskets?
Hopefully. And that's really all we can do right now is hope.
Yeah.
We already saw Heyman's fingerprints Monday night. I'm under the impression that Bischoff won't be starting on SmackDown until after the pay-per-view.
They say he's already on the job.
We'll see what happens.
I think maybe he
was not there tonight.
You think he had a little input though, or
no,
from afar?
Absolutely none.
Okay.
I was told he was not starting until after the pay-per-view.
Okay.
So he didn't. There was no input from Bischoff on the SmackDown product tonight.
What was your thoughts on this news that broke out on Thursday?
I think it shows that WWE is a little worried.
Oh yeah.
They wouldn't be to me. They wouldn't be doing this if AEW wasn't coming in October. There's no way this would have happened.
Vince would have just sat on his. Vince would have just sat on his hands.
I think it's a welcome. I think it's a welcome change. I think anytime the WWE can look themselves in the mirror and say, "This shit ain't working. We need to fix it." That's a good thing.
Do you think this is a direct response to everything Moxley had said in his post WWE interviews about the creative process and such?
I don't think this has anything to do with Moxley. But I definitely feel that, it's a cause and effect. And the cause is AEW, and the effect is we need to shape up now before we get bowled over.
Yeah.
Because they're running into that chance that it could very well happen.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't want to set yourself up for failure, and that's kind of what WWE's been doing to themselves, for the last several months.
Yeah, and remember Undertaker warned Vince back in 1997, and took quite a while for him to realize that as well. So. That's very interesting. For Mike Johnson at PW Insider, the announcement from Heyman and Bischoff is legitimate, not a storyline situation. WWE's been pursuing Heyman to come on board officially in their corporate circles as far back as February. PW Insider can exclusively confirm. An offer was issued to Heyman to come on board full-time as a top member of the creative team. Around the same time, Bruce Pritchard was brought back as senior vice president, but the conversations were slow in progressing. Heyman had been working on certain storylines with certain talents, including Ronda Rousey, Brock Lesnar, Alexa Bliss, and many others dating far back as to that point. He's been in the inner circle when it comes to the creative process for some time without an official title. He and the WWE have been circling around this deal for a long time and finally came to terms recently. The Eric Bischoff deal came together within the last several weeks. Bischoff has been working on pre-production of a planned Netflix Hulk Hogan biography film and had a slew of personal appearances booked. Over the last week, he quietly began to cancel those appearances, so it was likely that was when he came to terms with the WWE. PW Insider is told that he will be working directly with Fox as WWE builds their relationship with SmackDown's new home. To say this is a massive return to form for Bischoff is a grand understatement. We are told that the WWE approached him about the role and that his previous work in collaborating with Turner Broadcasting, Spike, and other networks in building past TV series was one of the reasons why Bischoff was pitched for the position. PW Insider is told that they will be overseeing all aspects of the individual series, answering directly to Vince McMahon. They are now on top of the pyramid, respectively, for Raw and SmackDown. But obviously, McMahon will always have the last say. One source compared their roles to Triple H's role in NXT, that they will be in charge, but is still Vince's company. Heyman is still expected to continue as his role as Brock Lesnar's advocate. No word yet as if Bischoff will appear on camera, but as Mike Johnson said, given how good of a performer he is, one would think it's just a matter of time. Follow-up to that story, Mike Johnson put out there that Bischoff officially came to terms as the executive director of SmackDown 2 weeks ago. And these are actually brand new roles that were created within the corporate structure. They are not worked roles, but legitimate executive roles that would have been approved by the board of directors, given their importance. Mike Johnson, PW Insider, did say on Friday that Bischoff would kick off his tenure as executive director on this Tuesday's taping. But Matt, you've heard otherwise on that then?
I was told he was not there tonight, and he wasn't starting until after the pay-per-view. That's what I was told.
Okay.
I mean, maybe I got wrong information, but that's what I heard.
And of course, we all know Heyman was there on Monday. He appeared on camera.
Heyman was in Gorilla pretty much the entire Monday Night Raw with Vince.
Eric
his fingerprints were all over that show.
Yeah, it was. Bischoff tweeted on Saturday afternoon, equally humbled, honored, and more excited than I can possibly articulate here. Thank you so much for the overwhelming support. It's been an amazing journey, and the best is yet to come. So, great words from Eric Bischoff there. Of course, we've talked at length of the chair shot heard around the world with Sean Spears and Cody Rhodes. Thankfully, no concussion, 12 staples.
Sheesh.
Cody said it's 10.
One would assume he'll be fine for Fight for the Fallen, right?
Yeah, I think he'll be fine.
Well, he doesn't have a concussion, so I think he'll be fine.
Yeah. So crazy situation, huh? Some notes, news and notes from FyterFest and just AEW in general. Golden Boy has worked as why Golden Boy worked as an announcer for FyterFest is the same reason why Nakazawa took on Jabali, because it's part of the partnership with CEO. Kenny Omega was the point person for that relationship, and hopefully maybe that just leads to Golden Boy being on commentary for good now, because he was damn good with those two guys. I think everything else we have covered. Alex Marvez was backstage at FyterFest and filmed material for future AEW use, for those that were wondering. I don't think any of us were really a fan of his commentary, though.
Like I said, he just needs to pick up his excitement level a bit. He wasn't terrible.
Oh, of course, as I mentioned in the open, middle fingers and oh shit, because we saw both of those on Raw and SmackDown this week. And Corey Graves says he's thinking of starting a GoFundMe page for this fine. Yeah, right, pal. Of course, the holy shit comment was not bleeped on the West Coast feed either, so we all know that. I don't
believe that's what he was referring to. I know everybody's going back to that, but I don't think that's what he meant.
Do you have any idea what he's talking about?
Yeah. If you go back to the mixed tag match, where Corey repeated the lines calling Mike Janela a bitch, and Renee retorted, "I hope you get fined for that." And Corey said, "That's what you said."
Oh, I got it.
So to me, that's what he was referring to as far as the fine goes. I don't think it had anything to do with the holy shit thing, but.
Which is funny because...
That's just my opinion.
Which is funny because he'd get fined for saying bitch, quoting someone as compared to saying
holy shit. Saying holy shit, yeah. That makes sense.
Here is some news and notes following Raw. The creative process at Raw was no different from any other week. Vince being the lead person, he and Heyman were both in Gorilla for much of the show. While the show had a lot of Heyman's fingerprints on it, as Matt said, in the end, everything was still Vince's call. Maria Kanellis is indeed pregnant. The story was making the rounds that she's expecting again. And of course, her and Mike have signed new deals with the company, new 5-year deals. This interesting fact, interesting turn, especially after what happened on Raw to end the show. Mike Johnson of PW Insider says there is a belief that Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows have agreed to terms on a new WWE deal, but may have not signed.
Get the fuck out of here!
But may have not signed them yet. All signs were pointing to the duo exiting this fall when their deals expired, as they may have turned down some lucrative 5-year deals from the company. At the time, the duo had pointed to creative or the lack thereof as the major reason why they wanted to exit. But now they're back with AJ. Things may change. So right now, PW Insider has not confirmed if they've signed the deals yet, but they look like they may have agreed to new terms. Mike Johnson did say Eric Bischoff was not backstage for Raw, but was there tonight for SmackDown. He said that this afternoon. And Rhino, and also one final note for the WWE: Rhino's deal expires July 17th, so that's coming up here pretty soon. I'd assume he's probably free and clear right after that, right? Like no 90 day.
Yeah.
90 day.
Ratings for the week. Last week's SmackDown got a little bit of a boost, 1.9 million, about a 70,000 increase. Of course, the key thing here for Raw last week, what happens with the big news of Heyman coming in? Well, it got some eyes on the product because it got a huge boost. Over 220,000 more viewers turned in for this week's Monday Night Raw than the week before. Damn, 2.6 million in hour 2 ain't bad either, and they held 2.34 million in hour 3. So I don't know if it's a direct result of Heyman or you know, if people wanted to see the answer to AEW. I don't know, guys. Do you think the Heyman thing had a lot to do with the big rating jump?
I definitely think more people tuned in this week due to that news that came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So we should expect SmackDown to be back over 2 million then for this.
I don't know about that. Well, I mean, I guess people might be tuning in to see what Bischoff's going to do, but Bischoff wasn't there.
Well, Mike Johnson just said this afternoon he was. So I don't know.
I'm telling you. Well, then I'm going up against Mike Johnson right now, and I'm telling you that he wasn't there.
Oh, showdown!
So
round 1, fight.
Look, I'm not trying to fight. I'm not trying to start nothing. But I trust who I spoke to, and I was told that Bischoff was not going to be there tonight.
I trust Matt Black.
I'm back. Somebody on Twitter randomly goes, "How do I start a campaign for Renee Young to host a late night talk show?" And Renee actually responded and goes, "I wanted to bring back Tuesday Night Titans." How great would that have been with Renee hosting? That would have been great.
That'd be pretty cool. She does very well with interviews. Why not?
You know who would be a great Gorilla Monsoon or an Ed McMahon to the Johnny Carson for Renee Young? Daniel Bryan.
You think so?
Reunite Talking Smack, baby.
Talking Smack was the greatest thing that almost never happened.
I miss Talking Smack. Tuesday Night Titans was always fun. You can watch that on the WWE network for $9.99. Recently, Becky Lynch did an interview with GuideLive.com where she discussed the Triple Threat main event WrestleMania match and whatnot. Also talked about her relationship with Seth Rollins and being now on screen with him in the relationship. And she said that that's something that just came about recently. I think seeing the potential of having two top stars fighting side by side as champions is something that we couldn't really ignore. So here we are. What are you guys thinking about that so far with those two?
They're overdoing it.
Think so?
In my opinion.
What do you mean?
I just think they're just, between the award ceremonies and, making a storyline behind it, I'm just like, just chill, let them be. I think because of the situation with AEW as well as the ratings being bad, I just think that you're bringing it into full fold. You haven't really done that before. But now you're actually just like in my opinion, like you're just overhyping it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I saw somebody comment. I saw somebody comment on Twitter like how it's like taking the edge off of Becky now. I'm like, I don't know about that so much, but
I won't say all that.
Becky hasn't had her edge since the Royal Rumble.
Thank you.
So I'm definitely not agreeing with that. I mean, her relationship with Rollins is not hurting her, but I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to say that it's helping her either. She got hot on her own, and then WWE put their fingers all over her, and now she's not even close to where she was through no fault of her own, and through all fault of WWE creative trying to be too cute with her character.
Yeah, they're trying to overexpose her. I'm just
her being on Raw under Heyman, I feel like she has a chance to gain that back this year if they give her the shot. So we'll see how that goes.
One of the best, not just because it's pro wrestling, but one of the best reality shows out there, Ms. and Mrs. Coming back Tuesday, August 6th. It'll return to the USA Network as it rounds out its current season. Actually, they're still technically in their first season, right?
I believe so.
I'm confused with how they're like putting that together, but I guess the finale of the first season is starting August 6th, and then 2020 is season 2. I don't know. I just know it's great. Interesting. Evolve's 10th anniversary is on August 31st, and it's going to air on July 13th, and it's going to air on the WWE Network Live. Hey, what else is on July 13th?
We're fighting for the fallen.
Yeah, apparently Kenny Omega mentioned how he was not happy about some stuff and whatnot, but they also talked about them going to Saudi Arabia too. He wasn't really happy about that as well. But the Evolve event is going to feature Adam Cole, the NXT champion, taking on Akira Tozawa, and the Cruiserweight champion Drew Gulak taking on Matt Riddle. AEW announced on their Twitter last week, as we mentioned a little earlier, Chris Jericho is appearing at Fight for the Fallen. Would you like to see Jericho face?
At Fight for the Fallen?
Yeah.
I don't think he's working Fight for the Fallen. I think he's just going to be there for. I think he's just going to be there for a segment with Paige. Maybe he'll do commentary during Paige and Sabian and have a confrontation afterwards.
That's all I see.
So CM Punk filing a counter lawsuit against Colt Cabana because I guess they like being in court.
Look, he didn't have much of a choice.
Yeah, he's seeking $600,000.
If Cabana keeps coming with these lawsuits, you eventually have to counter to try to freaking shut the damn thing down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Countersuit seeking $600,000 from Colt. Yeah, a lot of information there, but so, I think didn't you say that last week maybe on the show, Matt? That's one expensive podcast.
Very much is.
One last cable network has dropped the Pursuit channel, which Impact Wrestling airs on, as one less cable home, as AT&T Uverse has dropped the Trivial Pursuit network.
Because nobody's watching.
Yeah.
Do you hear the rumors that Impact might be going to Access TV?
Yeah, I saw that.
Which I don't understand how that works with
New Japan.
With New Japan.
them already having New Japan and Wow Women of Wrestling. How much pro wrestling do they want on their fucking network?
They want all the pro wrestlings.
I think that might be a mistake.
For the first,
it's picking up Impact. Period.
For the first time in 20 years, S.A. Rios and Lita reunited for an event in Mexico. Of course, if you remember, Lita made her debut in the WWE with S.A. Rios. So, pretty cool to see those two reunite for a little meet and greet and whatnot. Some new trademark filings for the WWE. The Iconics with 2 eyes. Zelina Vega, Heavy Machinery, Lacey Evans, EC3, Drake Maverick, the Lucha House Party, and the B Team were all filed on June 21st. Eli Drake. Dummy, yeah.
Oh, you were waiting for that one.
Yeah. He signs with the NWA and was the tag partner for Nick Aldis at Best in the World. What do you guys think of that move?
I'm not. I'm more to sit back and watch mode.
So,
Depends on how long the contract is, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
hopefully it was 48 hours.
Yeah, I don't think so, Tim.
See you later, dummies.
Look, it's not going to be a bad schedule, and if he's going to get some good money for a short period of time, I mean, why the hell not?
Yeah.
Let's face it, not EC3, freaking Eli Drake's best Impact run was when Corgan was in charge of that company.
Yeah.
So, I don't blame him for wanting to go with somebody that he already knows how they know how to use him.
Yeah, a lot of trust there. Yeah. Is there anything? Have you read anything, or does it just keep growing, the NWA ROH partnership?
I think so.
Yeah, that's all they're looking to do.
Got to do something after they lost the Elite, right?
Pretty much.
And everybody else, Tenille Dashwood, apparently Juice Robinson doesn't want to work for them anymore. It just keeps getting worse and worse for Reign of Honor.
Man, a lot of delirious running around.
Pretty much.
Wow. Slammiversary's caught up on us here. Sunday.
Sunday.
Sammy Callahan against Tessa Blanchard.
All right.
I guess it'd be fun to watch her kick his ass.
I don't think I'd be comfortable watching that match at all, to be perfectly honest with you.
Neither would I.
The Rascals are taking on the tag champs LAX. I hear LAX is getting some phone calls from the WWE and the AEW.
No one should be surprised by that.
No.
Nope.
They must be free pretty soon, I'm guessing.
Very, very, very soon.
RVD. Hey, man. RVD against Moose. X Division champion Rich Swann against Johnny Impact. Knockouts champion Taya Valkyrie against Rosemary Sue Young. And Havoc in a Monsters Ball match. And Impact First Blood match, Killer Cross and Eddie Edwards. Hey, Killer Cross, you want to get out of your contract? Well, now you're going to get in a First Blood match. And for the title, Brian Cage, Big Mike Elgin. That sure snuck up on us quick because we don't watch Impact anymore. Do you watch any Impact anymore, Matt?
I couldn't tell you the last time I watched an episode of Impact.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll watch it again if it goes back on Access.
True. I mean, I'll put it on the DVR and do the match.
Yeah, because I record it in Japan every week. So if you want to move Impact to Access TV, yeah, I can see about watching your programming again. But as long as you're on Pursuit and Twitch, I'm good. I'm good.
Matt'll once again, if you go to Access, Matt will give you that DVR treatment. He'll go through your show in 20 minutes.
Dun, dun, dun.
Or your money back.
Guaranteed.
In an interview with the Miami Herald, Alberto El Patron says that his new promotion, Nacion Lucha Libre,
just stop.
Which he has formed with Chavo Guerrero, will provide health and life insurance to all of its talent.
How many startup companies of athletic sporting competition is this man going to start up in the last 3 years? Because for crying out fucking loud, this feels like the 50th one.
All of them. He's going to start all of them. Well, one was like an MMA promotion, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what I said. Athletic sports.
Yeah.
Oh.
Speaking of the NWA, a new NWA national champion was crowned in Philly. Sorry about your damn luck. Well...
Which I don't even know how the fuck this happened when apparently Colt Cabana couldn't work the night before.
Yeah.
So how the hell was he all of a sudden healthy enough to compete?
I wonder
24 hours later to drop the title. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
I wonder if it was like a 1 minute deal to drop the title since he was hurt. Like a beer bottle to the back of the head or something, and then he pinned him, you know.
That'd been nice.
Something quick, you know. As James Storm defeats Colt Cabana. As if Colt Cabana hasn't had bad luck already. That lawsuit. Sorry about your damn luck.
Boom, boom.
Here's another lawsuit. Speaking of creative in the WWE, Paige recently did an interview with The Sun in the United Kingdom, promoting the digital release of Fighting With My Family, and she talked about managing the Kabuki Warriors and expressed frustration. She said, if we don't get used, I get really frustrated because we're a good tag team. We need to be utilized. Sometimes the writers have so much on their plate with everyone else's storylines, they put things on the back burner. I have to remind them, okay, but there's also women's tag titles. I'm like, what the hell, dudes? Let's make something happen. Apparently, Paige repeated herself there because we did not see the Kabuki Warriors on SmackDown this week.
Look. This is the perfect way to utilize the wild card. You have a 3-hour show on Monday nights. If you want to fucking make the fucking women's tag team titles worth something, bring Paige and company out on Raw. You know, actually make the wild card fucking worth something.
Yeah. Apparently the Kabuki Warriors won a future tag title opportunity in Tokyo, so I would assume that'll happen in Extreme Rules. She talks about expressing frustration about creative to Vince and Triple H, saying, it frustrates me, but once you actually get to speak with Vince and Hunter about your problems and frustrations, they're always the first to say, let's change this. If you go up to the writers, it's like talking to a brick wall sometimes.
That's because you put the fear of God in their asses where everything looks like shit unless it gets approved by Vince.
Whereas if you go to Vince and Hunter, they're like, if you have a problem, I'll solve it.
Oh my God!
Fuck out of here!
I could resist on that one. Then she says the Kabuki Warriors will be a force to be reckoned with, and that was the plan from the beginning. Okay. It's just not a good fit. Paige and those two. Not a good fit.
Just show me, don't tell me. I mean,
show me, don't tell me.
Yeah, no bullshit. Like,
Triple Mania is also around the corner, August 3rd in Mexico, and the following matches have been announced. Dr. Wagner Jr. against Blue Demon Jr., a couple of legends. It's going to be a hair versus mask match. Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks facing off against the Lucha Brothers and Laredo Kid once more. Cain Velasquez and Cody and Psycho Clown take on Tejano Jr., Taurus, and a mystery partner. So this is kind of Cody's revenge for getting that beat down at one of the indie shows. Taya Valkyrie and Tessa Blanchard take on Fabia Pachi and Lady Shahani versus Kaira and La Hydra against Chica Tormenta. So it looks like a fatal four-way tag match. Let's see. Anybody else we know? Scarlett Bordeaux is going to be on the show, taking on Lady Maravilla. Sammy Guevara is going to be on the show as well. So that's going to be Triple Mania, Triple A's biggest event of the year. Seth Rollins, of course, we know he's been at it with Will Ospreay lately, and so he decided to apologize to Will Ospreay actually this morning on Twitter. And he said, after a few days to sun, I'd like to apologize to Will Ospreay for the tweet comparing bank accounts. It was dumb of me. Not in my line of values. The moment I pressed the send button, I knew it was trash, but I'm too stubborn for my own good. I stand firm in my sentiments that WWE is the best pro wrestling on the planet, and that I'm the best at doing. I'm the best of the best doing it right now. After a hell of a week of travel, our crew didn't waver for a second. Top-level humans busting their asses for the love of the game. Couldn't be more proud to be a champion with this company and represent WWE and the entire industry the way it deserves. No more garbage tweets until the next time, right?
Ouch.
Word.
I'm just being truthful, right?
Yeah.
The complete lineup for the 10th anniversary event from Evolve was announced actually just tonight, a little bit before SmackDown Live, as I mentioned. Of course, Adam Cole taking on Tozawa. Evolve champion Austin Theory is going to take on JD Drake, who is the WWN champion. That's going to be title versus title. The Evolve tag champions Eddie Kingston and Joe Gacy are going to take on AR Fox and Leon Ruff. Mentioned Gulak and Riddle. Also going to be on the card, Colby Carino. He's going to take on Babatunde. Oh, God. Colby's going to die. Sean Maluda is also on the card for names you may have heard before as well. So it'd be pretty cool to see this on the network. It's just odd that this is going to be on the same night as Fight for the Fallen. NXT this week, pretty damn good. We started out the breakout tournament. What'd you guys think of Joaquin Wilde and Angel Garza?
Yes.
I knew nothing of Angel Garza going into it, but that
That's
dude's
Garza Jr. He's in AAA as well as Ring of Honor at times.
that dude's got it, man. I like it. I like him already. And Joaquin Wilde making a run for Ali for his money for entrance gear. Holy shit.
That's DJZ.
I know. Mr. Zion right there. That was a hell of a match, though. If this is what we're getting from the breakout tournament, I'm looking at that bracket. I think we're getting Swerve and Angel in the finals.
Yeah, you know, I love Swerve.
At least they changed the name up, but I don't have his name memorized off the top of my head, so I'm gonna call him Swerve.
Isaiah something. I forgot what his last name
Crowell.
is.
No.
Yeah. No. Is it?
No, that's a football player.
That's a football player, dude. Come on now.
I was being smart ass.
It starts with an S. Like it's Isaiah.
Is it Scott?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll stick with Swerve for now. I think it's gonna be Swerve and Angel in the finals. But yeah, I was really impressed with Angel. He's good. He's a cocky motherfucker. That's for damn sure. Nice little vignette of Kushida talking about how he wants to face anybody and everybody. Doesn't matter. Raw, SmackDown, 205 Live. He wants to face everybody. Little footage of Damian Priest after he made his debut last week. He says that you've not seen anything yet. The name Damian Priest will live forever. I like the persona that they're putting around Priest. This is gonna be big things around this guy, I think. NXT Tag Champs Street Profits took on the Forgotten Sons, and well, this was before we realized, hey, look, Street Profits are on Monday Night Raw. Well, first somebody fucked up and showed them on camera at, like, the first minute of the show, which was kind of funny. I'm sure somebody's got their ass chewed for that. Was this just a little, hey, what's up thing, or are we losing? Is NXT losing their tag champions for the second time in like 4 months?
They want to smoke.
Who knows?
You never know.
I saw somebody mention the fact that Heyman did a segment with him means he's pretty damn high on them. So I'm guessing they're bye-bye. That tag division's already wrecked, man. Oh, well.
They just want to smoke, man.
Bask in his glory, Keith Lee. He destroyed some Greek dude pretty quick. That pounce was fucking great. That dude about died. That pounce was insane. Sweet vignette from Adam Cole on his victory tour. He's flying them private jets, just like Nature Boy Ric Flair. Yes, Isaiah Scott, that's his name. He's taking on Cameron Grimes, better known as
Trevor Lee.
I forgot his Impact name already.
Trevor Lee.
That'll be next week in the breakout tournament, as well as Roddy Strong and Tyler Breeze. So that should be a pretty damn good NXT in itself as well. And main event time, first time ever, women's steel cage match, and damn, was that good! That was a hell of an effort by those ladies in that main event, and like Candice jumping off the cage doing a crossbody, Io doing a goddamn moonsault off the cage. Woo! That's some good shit. A very unique finish with Io slamming the cage door on Shayna's head and basically knocking her out to where she falls out of the ring and wins. But holy shit! What Io Shirai turning heel? What the hell? What did you guys think of that?
Not surprised.
Not surprised? Really?
Nope.
After what she did like at TakeOver, you thought that was just the start of things?
Yep.
I thought it was going to be like a oopsie, kind of thing. And then they'd hug. But then, no, she's purposely going under the ring to look for some shit. That was no oopsie, was it?
Nah.
It's a damn good heel turn, though, wasn't it?
It's perfectly placed.
Monday Night Raw from, where are we at? Big D, I think? Yeah, the Big D.
That's what she said.
You did damn right. Like I said, in the first minute, they fucked up and showed the Street Profits. What are they doing there? Falls Count Anywhere match. Hey, look, how about this? We're kicking off Monday Night Raw. It's not a goddamn 20-minute promo. It's a fucking match. How about that, guys? I don't know if that was Heyman's idea or if this was just happenstance, but, I mean, Vince has been doing that ever since the goddamn Attitude Era, where we get a fucking 20-minute promo to kick off Raw every fucking week. So I was happy to see it just snap right into a match. And speaking of snap, that little part of the wall went snap, and two big men went right through it, and Corey Graves yelled, "Oh, holy shit!" And then we see this pretty sweet angle from the side as they tend to the two guys. That was a pretty damn good opening of Raw, wasn't it, guys?
That's pretty good.
I love that little angle. That was kind of a Heyman thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was him written all over it.
Little camera off to the side kind of thing. Like, we can't get down in there with those guys being, hurt or whatever. But we there. That was crazy, man. I mean, they didn't even have the LED board back up when the Viking Raiders came out. So I thought we were going to be like Titantron less the whole 3 hours. Like, this will be interesting. But they got it fixed by the time the New Day came out. So I like Joe's attack on the New Day too. Like, I thought that was perfect. Outside of the fact that it was obvious to set up a commercial break, but that aside, I thought Joe going to the other show to attack the New Day, I thought that was a great heel move, don't you think?
Yeah.
Oh. Drake Maverick is once again 24/7 champion. Is he finally going to consummate the marriage?
I hope he get the cheeks.
Wow.
I think that's the first time "hope he get the cheeks" was uttered on this show.
Hashtag hope he get the cheeks. Mark Show, I know you're listening.
That hashtag's coming. What do you think about Anderson putting up his hot Asian wife for a bet? Speaking of cheeks.
I mean,
Y'all are fucking terrible.
Hey, he's the one who's putting his hot Asian wife up on a bet. So.
I mean, I wouldn't be doing all that, but to each his own. Do your thing. Word.
Charlie was interviewing the Street Profits. You think the Street Profits can succeed in the bigger stage, or do you think they need some more seasoning, if you will?
No, they both can go. Like, I'm tired of Angelo Dawkins saying "nah, fam," but in the Heyman era, I think they can do a little bit.
Well, like I saw a buddy of mine say, like, considering Heyman did a segment with him on camera, that's got to mean a lot. So, Undertaker thing, it's cool to see the Taker, but I mean, he didn't really say anything. Groundbreaking, and Shane was holding Drew back. So I think we're getting. At first, I thought it was going towards a Shane and Undertaker SummerSlam like a rematch of the WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of wondering if it's not going to be Taker putting over Drew at SummerSlam now. Unless they're still... here's the other part of it, though. The unless. Shane's talking about the hot streak he's on tonight on SmackDown still makes me worried about that WWE title run.
You might be right, sir.
But it almost, like, on Monday, it felt like maybe this was Drew, and this could lead to Drew and Undertaker maybe at SummerSlam, but I know that I just have a feeling they're putting that fucking title around Shane.
Don't say that.
I'd have been more worried about it a couple weeks ago with Bischoff and Heyman running things. I don't really see that as happening.
So you think that maybe the gears have shifted, maybe to Drew and Undertaker at
I think it was always Drew and Undertaker at SummerSlam. I don't think Shane and the Undertaker was ever a consideration.
Do you think?
No, I don't think at all.
Okay, that's good. Do you think seeing people that we haven't seen hardly at all, like Mike and Maria, is that a result of Heyman saying, "Hey, we need to get these guys on TV"? Is that? Do you think?
Maria's a Heyman girl,
pretty much.
So I mean, that didn't surprise me. But at the same token, they just signed a new 5-year deals, and Maria didn't bother to tell them that she was pregnant until after they signed those new contracts. Oopsie. I'd fucking use her on television too before she had to go away.
Exactly.
You have nothing else to do but make babies when you're not on TV.
Boy, they cut off Mike Kanellis' balls, though, didn't they?
And we call that man a bitch, though.
And then he tapped out like instantly to this armor. And then Maria, yeah, wow. Talking about Becky impregnating her has a better chance now. Hello. That put in some wild pictures in people's heads. The whole Nikki Cross thing was getting interesting for me up until the part where she lost to Bayley tonight. Like, I thought maybe she would get inserted into the match eventually or something, and then maybe accidentally win the title. But now that she got pinned by Bayley tonight, it's like, this is all for nothing, right?
Pretty much.
I don't know. And, of course, the end of Raw was great because, you can say it was too sweet, right?
Whoop, whoop.
Mark Cho was trying to put it in my head that maybe it was Ricochet that was going to turn heel and sucker AJ, and I'm sitting here waiting, like, everybody's standing in the ring. I'm like, okay, all right, what's going to happen here? Is Mark Cho going to be right? Or am I going to be right?
He had a 50-50 chance.
Good math there, Matt. Good job.
Well, don't make me give you the Steiner math, motherfucker, because that can be arranged.
That should be taught in schools, by the way, Steiner math. Well, if they sign new deals, and maybe it was AJ that said, "Hey, let's see if we can make something out of this." And maybe
if I were the two of them, I would drag my feet for as long as humanly possible.
Yeah.
And really see if they're actually going to be serious about doing something with the club. And if they're not, then I'm not re-signing.
Yep.
I'd be like, that's great. These new deals look good. I'll sign when I know for sure that you're not going to fuck me.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, these are 5-year deals, dude. I mean, Carl's
I hear they're not signing anybody for less at this point.
Nope.
Carl's like late 30s, right? Yep, 39. And Luke Gallows is probably not young. 35. So not bad, but I mean, both guys are going to be in their 40s after Anderson's almost already in his 40s, but I mean, he's got all those abs, so he's okay. He'll probably be able to wrestle into his 49 like CD does right now. So, yeah, I don't know, man. SmackDown. It's kind of funny. I saw an interview where Kevin Owens says he'd really love to see what he could do, how far he could take being a babyface, and well, I think we're gonna see, huh?
Hopefully so.
Kind of odd after the whole turn on the New Day thing, but I guess once you go your separate ways, shit happens or whatever, and it definitely seemed like KO is going babyface here, kind of talking shit to Shane and what we saw with Dolph. So, but God, are we? Raise your hand if you're getting sick of Shane McMahon.
I'm raising my hand, everybody.
I'm seeing I think I see 3 million people raising their hands. I always love watching Big E do his intro on camera. Do that more often, please. We've seen it before, but hey, I always love watching it. Big E and Daniel Bryan had a pretty good match there, as the first match of the evening. So, yeah, like I said, with this whole Nikki Cross thing, do you think they should have had the match even? If they're gonna
Not if she was going to lose.
Yeah, because it just took all the intrigue out of this whole thing, and
it just didn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't know. Joe and Kofi was pretty damn good face to face, wasn't it?
The middle finger her around the world.
What? Well, outside of the middle finger, it was still a good promo by both men. I loved it. But yeah, I did not see Kofi dropping the middle finger though, man. That was kind of surprising. Matt's happy he gets to see Mandy Rose, but unfortunately she lost pretty quickly, so maybe Matt's not so happy.
She freaking dominated 98% of the fucking match. Ember Moon got like 2 fucking moves in one. It was fucking dumb.
Tell us how you really feel, Matt.
I'm just fucking saying.
Thanks to Zelina
Vega. Match should have ended when Mandy hit that running knee right in her fucking skull.
And of course, Shane put KO and Ziggler together in a tag match against Heavy Machinery. Winner gets added to the tag match at Extreme Rules, which is already with the Planet's Champions and the New Day. And yep, after Super Kick misses Heavy Machinery and hits KO right in the face, that turned everything around. Heavy Machinery lands the compactor, so they'll be added into the triple threat match. And then KO snaps on Dolph Ziggler, and face turn complete, don't you say?
Yeah, it looks like we're going to get KO and Ziggler at Extreme Rules, and KO's back to being a babyface again. So
I'm with it.
They should have never turned him heel to begin with.
You said it was like a knee-jerk reaction because they were unsure about Big E's timing of coming back, right? And then all of a sudden he was better?
No, it was Daniel Bryan.
Oh, Daniel Bryan, okay.
Because Daniel Bryan was supposed to work the rematch with Kofi at the pay-per-view after Mania, and they did not have a timeline on when he was going to be cleared to return, and that's why they turned KO.
I knew it was a knee-jerk reaction. I just couldn't remember what.
Good old Vince.
I wonder if Heavy Machinery comes out champions with being triple threat.
I would not be surprised.
Me neither.
And they pin Xavier or Big E, and yeah. Shit. Heavy Machinery put on a hell of a match with Planet's Champions. I wouldn't. Well, I guess they got the rematches are done, so I forgot about that old rule. We'll see if the WWE forgets about that old rule too. Who knows? I mean, the wild card rule is kind of, only four people, and then there's like 85 people running down for the 24/7 title. So, I don't know. Well, that's gonna do it for this edition of Lost in the Midcard. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll be back at you next week. We're going to be already previewing Fight for the Fallen, giving our predictions and whatnot. So be sure to tune into that, and then the week after that we'll be talking about what we saw, and shit, it's Extreme Rules is the next night after Fight for the Fallen, isn't it?
You're absolutely correct, sir.
God damn, we're going to be previewing Extreme Rules, too, next week, so lots to set the table for here next week. But thank you to SpiderDuck.net for being our host, enabling us to be on iTunes and any of your favorite podcasting apps. What you got to do, brother, is search for Lost in the Midcard. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know every time a new episode comes your way, typically every Wednesday like today. Or, if we come out with a different day, sometimes like we do, you'll know when that new episode comes your way. You can also subscribe on the YouTube. The links to all that on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Lost in the Midcard. Also on the Twitter at LITMC Podcast, where we share a lot of the great tweets within the wrestling world. Darryl is on the Twitter at No One Like D. Matt is on the Twitter at Raw of Showtime. I am on the Twitter at JB Huskers. Give us all a follow. Interact with us as we interact with the shows and such. It's always fun to do. And before we ride off into that sunset, get ready for the 4th of July. Darryl, what are your final thoughts?
Have a happy 4th of July. Safe 4th of July, folks, and we'll be back to you next week.
Kaboom. Matt, what are your final thoughts?
Fight for the Fallen is AEW's last chance to make a final impression before All Out at the end of August, when no doubt the pay-per-view price will be back in full effect. Mm-hmm. They need to put on a better effort than we got at FyterFest. It needs to be more in line with Double or Nothing, and they need to give the viewing public a reason why this company is going to be as big as we think it's going to be. No more fuck ups. They can't have another. They can't have another.
Spears?
They can't have another FyterFest. Honestly, to be the biggest way, the biggest thing I can put it. Look, the show was fine.
It was good.
It was a good show, but compared to Double or Nothing, it just they didn't compare. So, to me, like, Fight for the Fallen needs to be a blow-away great show. That's just the long and the short of it.
Yeah. And we'll see what happens. It's coming up very soon. Like I said, a week from Saturday, BR Live. If you're in the United States, it's going to be probably the same times. Buy-in at 6:30. Buy-in might be an hour long, and then probably get a 2.5-hour show after that. It's interesting. We got this refreshing news with Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff, and we did get, again, I mean, Raw's been decent for a month now, and SmackDown turned a corner this week, so we're getting good wrestling, so that makes us all happy. So hopefully it continues, and as Matt said, hopefully Fight for the Fallen gives us a wow factor that we need going into Chicago at the end of August. For Darryl, for Matt, this is Jeremy. Thank you for tuning in to Lost in the Midcard, and we'll be back at you next week as we preview Fight for the Fallen and Extreme Rules.